I look back at my life, and all I see are the messes I made. I can do one thing right with the time I got left. I can't do it alone.
You'll no longer be beloved celebrities.
But the thought in the fewest of ways.
You will be wrathful gods.
That doesn't sound good, Ashley.
Oh, you know it, Ashley.
Sorry, Ashley.
This is insane and desperate, even for you.
Well, insanely desperate's where we are, don't you think, love?
Let's go.
That's the spirit, champ.
Who wants a creamy, delicious milkshake?
You're all welcome.
Saturday through Sunday, Monday through Sunday, yo. Maybe I'll love you one day, maybe we'll someday grow. Till then, just sit your drum on that fuck runway.
I can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman. I can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman, can't be your Superman, your Superman, your Superman.
Soldier Boy, tough. Hey, I got this new dance for y'all called Soldier Boy. You just gotta punch, then crack back 3 times from left to right. Soldier Boy, I'm in it. Why me crack it? Why me roll? Why me crack that Soldier Boy? That Superman. Now why me crack that Soldier? 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 Now what? Soldier Boy, I'm in it. Why me crack it? Why me roll? Why me crack that Soldier Boy? That Superman. Now why me crack that Soldier? 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 Now what? Soldier Boy, I'm in it. Why me in it? Why me rock? Superman now. Yeah, why me crack that Robocop? Super friend, now why me jump? Jocking on them, hate them, man. When I do that Soldier Boy, I lean to the left and crack that thing now. I'm jocking on you, I'm jocking on you. And if we get the fight, then I'm cocking on you. Catch me at your local party, yes, I crank it every day. Haters get mad, cause I got me some bathing days. Soldier Boy, I'm in it. Why me crack it, why me roll? Why me crack that Soldier Boy, that Superman now why me crack that Soldier?
Hello. How is everybody doing on this Friday? Y'all, it's Friday. It's a good Friday, and we are here to talk about The Boys Season 4, Episode 4. Cannot wait to hear what y'all thought about it in the chat. If you are just getting in here, do know that we are not only streaming on my platform, but my guest platform as well, My Sweet Perspective, K-Bly. If you are on any of those, show us some love, run it up in the chat, and also hit that like button. Of course, if you want your comment, prioritize, attach $1 to it, and keep it cute. We are not going to waste any time, because before I share what I thought about this episode and how I'm feeling about the show thus far, I'm going to bring other people out first, because, you know, I be trying to be cute in my opinion, but y'all know I don't care. I do not care at all. But not to waste any time, I'm going to bring out the girl with her very, very oh so sweet perspective to see how she felt about episode 4. Ashley, come on out here, girl, and give us the tea. Yes.
Myself. Maybe listen, the StreamYard didn't want me to speak either. Y'all, I'm just underwhelmed. Being as I binge watched the first three seasons of this just in the past month or so, my expectations are high. And this just gave more of the same. I didn't see anything especially unique. Of course, we'll get into it, but I want more and I want better from The Boys. These final 4 episodes better deliver. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, as long as it's not just me in the same boat, but y'all know I'll rock in the boat by myself if I need to. The show is very political, I'll say that. Very agenda driven, like message driven. But the show has always been that. But it was really, really written well, great satire, and there were other elements woven in there to just make the show incredibly entertaining. It's missing something. It's missing something, and I was thinking with me being more so underwhelmed with those first 3 episodes, that this would be the episode to go, oh, okay, we have arrived. It wasn't. I would definitely give this episode a 6. I need them 8, 9s, and 10s to roll on up. Come on, episode 5. But Kay Bly is in the back with them books because she reading them. Come on out here and let us know how you felt about The Boys, because I know you love the show also. Come on, Kay.
I mean, I didn't hate the episode. I feel like if they do it right and it's the show that I actually really love, that there are some plot twists coming. I'm really hoping that there are some twists and turns that they're setting us up for. And then I can appreciate a good slow burn, but they better deliver.
Slow burn. 4 episodes of slow burn. That's a little too slow for me. And I know that they're going to come with the plot twist, and I think our twists are going to lie more so with Butcher and Sister Sage. But I know that's coming. I come to this show for the unsuspected and the surprise. Like, oh my goodness, like, did y'all like it's? I used to really highly anticipate this show, and the fact that I'm not is really making me feel a way on mentally where I am with the show, because I was like, I'll watch it when I watch it. I'll watch it when I watch it. And now after episode 4, child, I'll watch it when I watch it. But I'm hoping that it's like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I stayed the course. The show is really, really good. But I don't want them to just get to season 4 and just kind of throw it on the ground. Pick it back up. We like the show. Now, of course, you guys, we do have some additional guests. When and if they do arrive, I will definitely bring them in. But until further notice, we're going to go ahead and get started.
That's right.
Just roll.
Lord, because we got some stuff to cover. This is one of them episodes where stuff was happening and nothing at the same time. Now, I just felt like it was only right for us to start off with Homelander. John, aka Homelander, goes home. Ice cream cakes, reminiscing, humiliation, just doing your job. Oh, I mean, how do I word this? Okay, this is what I expect from Homelander. I don't think it was groundbreaking for me. As soon as Homelander got there, I knew what he went there to do. I was just anticipating him doing it, which kind of devalued the shock factor of, oh my goodness, he's there to torment people. He's there to, retread his childhood, humiliate people, and eventually take everybody out. I think if you watch this show, everybody knew that he went there to kill these people. Like, so I was just kind of waiting for the happening to happen, but that didn't make it any less disgusting. Homelander is exactly who I feel like he is in this episode, and I watched it with a little shame. You know how you watch, like, oh my goodness, like, you really about to do this, which means that it was effective, but I can't say that I was so shocked that he didn't just go there to serve these people a carnival ice cream cake. It was always going to be more than that. Ashley, how did you feel about all of this good stuff here?
Again, I feel like we're painting by number, right? He just did this a couple seasons ago, right? Where he went back to the doctor who created him back when he was talking to Madeline still about, how am I like this? Why did I get like this? And I'm like, midlife crisis, is that what's bringing this on? Like, are you healed yet? Like, Homelander, do you feel better after you blew the man's balls off? I mean, you evaporated another man in the heat, in the incinerator, like. And I thought it was a poo cake. Honestly, that was the most disgusting looking cake I have ever seen. But again, this is on par for Homelander. This is who he is. I will say the only thing I really took from this was the moment he had with Barbara, right? Where she's like, we programmed you to want validation, approval, and love. You'll never get rid of that. So I don't care what you do, even though she cared. But yeah, I mean, we knew what Homelander was going to do. He was going to Homelander. There was none of these people were going home. None of them.
Absolutely. What took you so long, bro? We maybe could have saved a couple of lives, Barbara, if you had got down here quicker. I really felt like he spared Barbara because she was one of the few, like, I'm not intimidated. I'm not scared. You're doing exactly what I expect you to do. Like, what you want me to do? Beg you? Like, what? I was here for Barbara, but I just felt like Barbara should have hurried her ass up and maybe somebody could have lived. Kay, how did you feel about the whole section of Homelander on his murder, death, kill spree?
Oh, I knew nobody was making it out alive there. I'm surprised she did, because as soon as I seen him rolling there smiling with a cake, I said that nobody's going home. No, nobody is going home. And this might be the last straw in any piece of humanity, empathy, somewhat caring. Like it's gone. There's nothing.
I thought we lost that long ago.
Well, I mean, he cared a little bit about Ryan, He cared a little about Ryan, and he cared a little bit about Black Noir. And I think, after, he killed Black Noir, and he's seeing that Ryan is kind of favoring Butcher. Like, it's like, it's gone. There's nothing there anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of trained on Go to know that anybody Homelander cares about eventually they die. So he don't care about anybody doesn't go. I'm just waiting on Ryan to get away before he's next. And Ryan was nowhere in this episode. I would have loved to have known what Ryan was doing. Are you off discovering yourself, trying out your powers, sulking? What are you doing? He was nowhere to be found. I wanted, which we're going to get to, that scene where A-Train was getting the Compound V. I expected Ryan to be the one to catch him, get the boy in the story. No, it was Ashley. Okay. But yeah, I did enjoy the background information we got on Homelander. The homeless runaway mother, and we only paid her $2,000. Kind of a belittling start for who Homelander thinks you're a science project. You've always been that, and this is when you came out the womb a menace. Like, we were afraid we were doing our job, and if you want to be real about it, we never had any control over you. You could have left and burnt us up any given time that you wanted to. You chose to stay here, just like then and now. You crave attention and love. Those are the things you want, and that's the human part of you, and that's what Homelander really hates about himself. No matter how much he cries about it, you are human, and you do crave attention and love and to be coddled and all that other good stuff. But yeah, the bloodbath at the end, I was absolutely not surprised. Does anybody think we're going to see Barbara again?
I think we have to see Barbara again. I think this is the last vestiges of a mother figure that he's had. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see her again by the end of the season and he finally takes her out like Madeline Stillwell style, something like that. Because Barbara was too slick at the mouth. I mean, she was shaking and shivering when the blood was dripping down the walls at the end. But he still might have something left for her, depending on how he is, honey, when he gets back to seeing what's going on.
So I was here for Barbara. Like, hey, take that man out of his misery. We don't have time. we don't have time for this. Like, let's just get it on with. Like, I love the energy that Barbara brought, but
she's sick of him.
As far as that replacement, that maternal thing that he would take out, I just knew this season that was going to be Sage, but we'll get to her. We will most definitely get to her. But yeah, this is nothing that I didn't expect from Homelander, but that didn't make it any easier to watch the whole self-fulfillment scene that went on forever. I was like, oh my goodness, can we please? Once we got the spit, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. If they wanted to make us uncomfortable with that scene, because I was like, okay, he put the man in the incinerator or, burnt him up, I can get on that. Or even just reflecting on how he feels of, hey, I was a child. Like, nobody had any mercy for me, regardless of my powers. I was still a child and nobody cared how he got the name Squirt. We got a lot of history with him, and we got to see what he wanted to. Lord, yeah, I don't want to go there no more. I don't want to go there anymore.
Like, who writes this stuff? How do you come up with this?
Oh man,
Squirt. That's it. That is you kind of embarrassing with yourself. Like, come on, man.
Patty, he is a little man, a wee man. If he wasn't tall, you would think he would have a little Napoleon complex. Like, he's really rolling up on people because, like, oh, I saw you, I caught you with your pants down. Ha, Squirt. Like, yeah, remember that? What's that you said about my mama? I'm coming back tenfold. However many years later, Homelander, relax. He's off the rails, and it's just getting closer and closer to him distancing himself from the home and the vault and going out there in the public and being reckless. I'm going to wait on that. We get some Annie early on. Bob Singer and Annie are linking up. We get into her constituents, and I can get you more votes, and really wanting to get that bill passed. For me, I was really paying attention to the Godolphin Five and them saying they disappeared into the abyss. Nobody knows, where they are on the news. And I'll even put my suit on if I have to support you in that bill and getting those soups where they need to be. Kay, how did you feel about any of this? Did you care?
I think I would have cared if it went somewhere, because we find out it literally did, like this. It didn't even matter, because it literally didn't go. It stayed right within this episode. It went nowhere. The plan was not carried out. The plan didn't even get off the ground, for that matter. We didn't. It went nowhere. It was just Annie is down bad right now.
Ashley.
Girl, put your cape on and just let's stop all the foolishness. I told her what she needed to do last week, but they're not listening to me. Starlight needs to be Starlight, okay? She needs to put on her cape. She needs to mobilize her people, okay, her followers, and she needs to get them incited. You know what I mean? Let's get them on the edge, right? So that we can get something done. But Kay is right. This was useless. The most important part, of course, was the kiddos, because we know they ain't disappear nowhere. Vought got them somewhere in a cave, a cavern, a supermax, right? And I'm waiting for my bloody girl to get out because we need her. We need her.
Absolutely. I think what's doing it for me, or what I guess not doing it, is this harrowing away. And oh my God, like she's very, and I get the Christian background, but I think me and Kate covered this at first. With everything she's been through in the past 3 seasons, I just expect her to be a little bit more evolved. I would love for her to go ahead and put that suit on and do what we need to do, but I'm really over Starlight already. We just 4 episodes in, trying to fight the good fight and expecting like that moment where we abort the mission and she's like, oh, not my medical right. Like, when have you ever known Vault or anyone to not go below the belt and be able to seek out and get any information they ever wanted to? Like, man, I'm ready for her to like get dirty. That's why we need the likes of somebody like Butcher, because everybody here is just trying to
Butcher was trying to help her. He was like, I need to know what she has on you.
What is going
on with you? And she lied. See, if she would have told the truth, they would have got in front of it and she would have been ready. So she set herself up for that.
She could have been the feminist heroine, right? Of the ages, of owning your body autonomy, all that stuff. She could have taken that and ran with it.
Be Starlight and have that presume halo of innocence around her, and it's just not that. And we're kind of, I guess, leaning back into her Christian background, her mother, and expectations she has to be that. But it's like, baby, we've been through some stuff. Come on, put that suit on and rally your troops. This is not the time. But before we get into her lying, Huey's mom couldn't wait. Huey's mom could not wait. She did not hesitate. We have Dad. He is instantly brain dead, and we're removing the feeding tube and waiting for him to just go out of capacity. That wasn't even like a layer of, well, maybe we should. It was just really quick. The way that the mother is moving is so questionable because, boo, you just got here. You've been gone since I was 6. You haven't had any interaction with me or my father, and yet you are really cool with it. Just pull the plug. It's what he would have wanted. How do you know that? How would you know that? Ashley, how did you feel about this?
Well, child, I mean, the whole thing, we've been talking for weeks, Huey, ever since you started ignoring him. I've been back in his life. And I'm like, sis, she's diabolical, right? She's definitely a Vought plant of some kind. She has nefarious intent. I know this about her immediately, but I'm with you. Don't just throw her on us, right? We don't even know her enough to hate her yet. Give us something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, build it up. I feel like they're just throwing these extra characters, her and Colin alike. I'm a group of them two together because why? We have no vested interest in who these people are. Like, give us more. Don't just throw them on us. Let's build a story like you've done in previous seasons. Do that. Y'all did a better job with bringing Soldier Boy back than they have with introducing Colin and her to the story. I don't care.
Yeah. If they want to just shroud her in doubt and mystery, I guess they're doing a decent job. Okay.
I'm ready to get to the root of her story, because between her, Huey, and his dad, I'm about sick of them. I need to know what's going on, y'all. Now y'all are moving a little slow with this, so I'm hoping since next episode, I think we're gonna get a little deeper into what's going on. So I'm just like, this the last time I'm gonna need this dynamic to happen. We got to pop it off next episode because between him, both of them getting on my nerves. I just
well, I know for me, and I wanted to save it to the end, but I really want to ask y'all now. with the him having the compound V and us ending off the episode with the compound V going and like the mystery of like, oh, who gave it to him, because Huey clearly made the decision not to, is in which I don't know if I would like if the show was going in that route. Is Huey's mom an hallucination? Because we have yet to see anybody interact with her. I keep waiting on a doctor or a nurse to talk to her, and we did have that moment of the lawyer and you can't do such and such, work it out with your mom. But that ending just made me feel like, well, hell, if you didn't put it there, your mom, like, is this, going on in Huey's head for him to do what he really wanted to do, which was give his dad this compound V to save the life? Like, could this be in his head at all?
I don't know. I've seen that. I saw that in the comments earlier, and I just saw it in the chat just now. And the thing that's anchoring her for me is the lawyer. And so if that is gone, I thought that the lawyer was viewing official paperwork. So if it's official paperwork, she's got to be real, right? It'd be an interesting take. I mean, I'm here for something interesting. I'm here for a surprise, but I do think she's real.
Oh, y'all in the chat. It's another one. Okay, I'm just wondering because that switch up with the compound V at the end, it's just like, how did that get there? And it's like, well, did she give it to him? I'm like, it's kind of giving maybe she isn't real. Okay, what did you think?
I was thinking that more because we know that she was an employee of Vought. And I really think this whole time she came here to do something. Like, she's been up to something. I didn't know if it was like she was going to, turn Huey over to Vought, or if she came to do something within the dad. But I really feel like she was sent there to do something. And so I wouldn't be surprised if she was the one that gave the dad the compound V. Like, she just strikes me as suspicious.
Yeah. And she saw it as it was coursing through his veins, trying to, Huey didn't see. So
I'm gonna read this super chat, y'all, and I'm gonna bring our guests to the stage from the back. Let's see, Peace Tower and Ladies Tower. I'm kind of surprised you like The Boys. It doesn't seem like it would be your cup of tea. I love The Boys. Dang C, thank you for the $5 super chat. I watch a whole lot of stuff just for the trajectory of the channel. I only share certain things, but girl, watch. The Boys has been my stuff since I caught up with it by season 2, and I've loved it ever since then. But to take it back just a little bit, because I do want our man's opinion on it backstage. So glad that he's here, always right on time, coming to the stage. Elliot from Elliot Movie Files. Hello, Elliot. How are you?
Good. How's everyone doing tonight?
Elliot, you came back. We think you was coming back.
Yeah, we're good. We're happy that you're here. But I don't want to move forward without getting your opinions on I opened just with Homelander in general, just to know kind of how you felt about everything that transpired. Because I think with us three, we this is what we expected him to do. And we just were kind of counting down the clock until he eventually killed everybody.
Yeah, I mean, this was, the trip down memory lane, the reunion that he's been, striving for since last week to kind of get rid of any of that humanity that he had left there. So I thought it was, out of this entire episode, I thought this was the most, this is what we come to watch for me, for The Boys, right? It's obviously the supporting characters moments, but it's mostly, what is Homelander going to do this week? Who's going to kill? What he's going to muck up this week? So it was hard to watch at times. I'm sure you guys talked about Marty having a moment to, the shine and Frank and all that. So I enjoyed most of that stuff, as far as just now knowing, or at least hoping, that this is going to propel him to getting the Homelander that we've been striving for the last few seasons, which is, what does a Homelander look like without humanity? What does a Homelander look like out of control? So it's be interesting to see what this new rebirth 2.0 Homelander looks like after now being, I guess you want to say, liberated from all of his pent up love for humans. So it's going to be really. I'm surprised. I don't know if y'all mentioned it. I'm surprised that he didn't bring Ryan along on this trip with him, just to kind of truly get rid of it. Showing Ryan at a young age, to show him his trauma, getting off of it. So I'm surprised Ryan wasn't in attendance to witness his dad's full slaughterhouse.
I know for me, I stated I just expected to see what Ryan was up to this episode if he wasn't with Homelander. I was anticipating him being the one to find A-Train, grabbing that compound V and kind of pull him into the dynamic, but he was nowhere to be found in this episode, which was like, well, what is he doing?
Exactly. And and I think we talked about it last week. That's kind of the thing about The Boys. Sometimes you have almost too many characters, and every character has to have like check in, check in, check in. And sometimes like a character like Ryan becomes like, wait, where is he? That doesn't even make sense. Like, wouldn't he be in the penthouse of owner? Like, where is he when he's not around home? So it's like little things like that. We have Black Noir episodes. It's like sometimes we focus on things that I personally don't care for, the Colin, Frenchie, all this stuff to last week. So yeah.
And anything about Annie linking up the link up that never actually happened because it ended before it started.
Yeah, this was interesting. Because this whole political angle that she's now. I mean, we saw that they've been building it up this season, and her and Singer. It kind of fell flat on deaf ears to me because we really haven't seen this relationship being developed. And her to have, I know she's for the boys, just part left, kind of like the anti-hero bill that's getting passed. It just kind of felt left field. It feels like Annie. They want her to be, again, she's the moral compass. She's the only person on the show that has done the right thing in most cases. And I just don't know what exactly this link up, or as you just mentioned, this non-link up is supposed to lead to. Is like now, because he obviously benched her after what was in this episode. So yeah, very, very curious. He's like he's gonna try to get in another soup to combat. I'm not sure where this is going.
We'll see, but I was very underwhelmed.
Is he officially elected the president? Has that day come quite yet? Or are we still building to like the official? He's the president.
I think we're still building.
Missing that?
No, we're still building.
Okay, so he isn't officially the president yet.
Yeah, we're still building. Still, and Huey's mom. Huey's mom. What's going on here? And
yeah.
Do you? I think just surpassing this. Do you feel like she's actually here, or if she's in hallucination?
I mentioned it last week that I thought that could be a possibility, and I know we talked about it. I think it was, I don't want to say debunked, but the doctor talked to her directly. Like when they were in that room, he had her in that moment. At least I assume he was talking to her and Huey when they talked about removing the tube or whatnot. So I think she is there. But then we're all assuming that she was the one that gave Huey's dad the compound V when he went to go get the coffee. I guess she saw him put it in his pocket. Then when he got it, he put it, so I mean, that's really quick on her feet to think of all that stuff. That seems like a pretty good decision. It took Huey the whole episode to come to the moment that he was going to give it to his dad, but then her to be like, compound, like to put together compound V, let me give it to him, bring him back, make him happy. I don't know. So it's going to be interesting. I do have a feeling, it's just funny that Simon Pegg's involved in it, and I'm just thinking of like zombies and Shaun of the Dead. Yes. I think it's going to be like kind of a Pet Cemetery situation where he's not going to come back, because we've never seen someone take compound V that's on the verge of death. Obviously, Butcher, Huey, and all them took it. So I don't know how it's going to react to someone's body that was essentially dead. So that's going to be like, are we going to see him be like a zombie and out of control? And maybe Huey has to.
Elliot, we're coming to get you, Barbara. I need to watch it. I ain't watched it in a long time. I need to watch that.
Yeah.
Yes. Ashley, coming to you, getting here. Butcher's back in. We ain't waste no time. I'm glad we didn't. Butcher is back in. The only person who's really against it is Starlight. I don't trust him. And then she opts to lie when he asks her a plain question that we need at this moment. Why does Firecracker have it out for you? And we have Butcher also still hallucinating, and Becca kind of there to bring him back down. And we also have I just put body worm because at this point we don't really know what it is. And him begging pretty much, if I happen to not make it to the end, Marvin, I need you to save Ryan. Now, as soon as I saw the worm, the whole thing in the shower, it really made me think about Venom. I don't know what exactly is inside of Butcher, but once we got to the ending and the whole blackout situation, I was like, it's really giving Venom for me. I don't know if anybody else got that, but that's where my brain went. Ashley, how did you feel about all of these things?
Yeah, the whole, protesting too much. Okay, Starlight, like, come on, lady. At the end of the day, is your aunt really that big against Butcher that you needed to even make a little scene? It felt like filler to me. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe her. I didn't believe she was that mad about him being there. And then it was short-lived, right? Mother's Milk is like, listen, he's in. I don't want to hear it. I run this, right? Call me sir. I like that. I like that side of Mother's Milk. As far as Butcher and his worms, really gross, really gross. But I think the worm is helping him, right? As we will see later on. So, and the discoveries that, and I know we'll get to that, something's merged and maybe is going to make him magical. So I'm super here for that. I don't know how I feel about the constant hallucinations from wifey, right? I know that's pushing him forward and propelling him into purpose, so I get it. I did like his plea to Mother's Milk, though. I thought that was beautiful. I'm like, okay, he's still on his redemption arc, and I'm absolutely here for Butcher, reclaiming his humanity, doing something good in the earth before he thinks he's going out, which y'all know I think he'll be here for a while. But yeah, just okay. It didn't overwhelm me. It didn't tweak my melons or anything like that. But, it was cool. Did she freeze? Okay. Oh no.
Did we lose?
I got
She'll
it.
be right.
I was like, oh no, is it my internet? Is it me?
No, it's me.
Okay.
It's Texas in these outages.
That was me.
Oh gosh.
I know I'm
Everybody can hear? Everything clear?
Mhm.
I don't even know what happened.
We just
That
lost
ain't
your
never
side.
happened before. Oh, okay, here we go. Let me go back. What were you saying, Ashley?
Child, I was just saying it didn't tweak my melons or anything, but it was cool. It was, I like the human side of Butcher. I like that he has an affinity for Ryan. And I hope he really converts Ryan. I think Ryan's still on the edge. And that's honestly what I'd be more excited to see than what we've been seeing. I'd really like you said earlier, Tyra, to see more of Ryan and see how is he going to turn? Is he going to come back to Butcher? What is that going to look like? But I like his humanity. I can go either way as far as him seeing wifey every other 2 seconds. I don't.
Absolutely. I'll be happy when we get to see Ryan, maybe even if he's just exploring and discovering himself. Let's get something. Kay, how did you feel about all of this stuff here?
I mean, well, I'm glad they didn't waste no time bringing Butcher back because, I mean, we really don't have time to waste at this point because the 7 is they making moves. They're making moves and they're making moves fast. They're like 10 steps ahead. So we don't have time to waste. So Annie, she's gonna have to get over this. We don't have that kind of time. The parasite that was so creepy. The parasite moving through Butcher like that. But I'm very curious to see how this parasite thing is going to evolve. Like, is it going to stay small? Like, is it going to grow through his system? Is it going to become its own thing? I don't know. Maybe that's like the horror side of me, but I really want to see the evolution of this parasite thing.
Yeah, because the first 3 episodes, it looked like a little tiny situation in his temple, and the whole back. It looks like it's growing. It does.
Right.
Elliot.
Yeah, the Butcher back in the group. I think we all can attest that. Yeah, it's about damn time. It only makes sense. I will say that I do wish that we would have seen what the conversation was between Butcher and them. Last time we saw them, he was like, "Get the F out of the group. I don't want you here." Yada yada yada. But I don't know. Was it him saving them last week in episode? Well, not saving them, but episode 2, he saved them. I don't know if that was come to realization, we need him, all hands on deck. But neither here nor there, we knew he was going to get back. I guess it's just a matter of now of him and MM who's going to take the leadership role if they go back and forth with that or what have you. But the parasite, I think it is something that is protecting him. I think Tumor is kind of to, I don't know, maybe he'll have the similar powers to, well, not similar because she eats people's faces and stuff. I'm thinking of Zoe, Vic's daughter. So I don't know if he's going to have some type of powers like that, but whatever it was, it blew up, Ezekiel. So it has to be something that's a little bit bigger and more vicious and more dangerous. So I think it's safe to assume that he is a soup again with this new compound V that he took from French. That's going to be interesting to see if that is going to prolong the whole death. Butcher is now going to live at least. I think between this season and next season, I don't think it's going to be like a big time gap. I think we're going to, even though it might be chronologically in our time. It's going to be like a year or two before season 5. But I think in the context of the show, it's going to be like within a couple days from season 4 to season 5, the finale, to build up the Butcher death. Because I don't think we're going to see him die this season. I think this whole, whatever the reveal is of this parasite, or this mutated parasite, is going to be something to keep an eye out for the rest of the season. So
I hope the parasite isn't killing him, because he still is giving weak and like he's wasting away and he's barely holding on. So I'm hoping that it's not that's eating away at him, and maybe if he gets rid of that, maybe that's the thing that's killing him. And if that gets out, maybe he's saved. But it came through in the clutch in this episode. So how it came through, we don't know, but it was a travesty. It's a hot mess in the trailer.
To your point, sir, I think it's like the venom. Like whenever the host is in danger, it comes out and it's without his knowledge. So I think they're gonna have to find that balance. Like I think it's a good comparison with Venom for sure.
Kimiko and Huey's recklessness, like this annoyed me so much. Them doubling back to endanger each other's lives pretty much. With that team following Kimiko for payback for last episode in retaliation. I was like, they could have followed you anywhere, Kimiko, and it would have been just lit up wherever you are. It just happens to be here. And then you have her in turn, like, why didn't you tell me we were meeting A-Train? This isn't unsafe. And you're making Huey unsafe at the same time. As well as Huey just, as many eyes are being put on A-Train, especially by Sage, we don't need to be recklessly calling him up for every little thing, even if it's to save our dad in Compound V in broad daylight. This was all just really risky and reckless, and the whole narrative of you owe me. I was really like, child, I saved you last episode. I ran up on you and saved you already. What exactly do I owe you, Huey? That was your save right there. Like, what else? And then we get more into Kimiko's history of her actually assisting in the kidnapping of the smaller kids and the history, and kind of getting into her throwing away all the progress she's made in this therapy and really getting down on herself as a bad person. But Kay, I'm going to come to you. How did you feel about this? I was here for the action and the cutting and slicing of it all, but I was like, this is extremely reckless, even for the boys.
A-Train ain't got but so many times that he can sneak away. And y'all pulled him away for this, which is used. And that the fact that he didn't even tell Kimiko that that's what it was for. Like, again, he just gets on my nerves sometimes with the decisions that he makes. And I'm surprised that A-Train actually took him up on that. Because like you said, I'd have been like, didn't I just save you? So like, what else do you want after this? Like, and if you do, like, what you gonna do if I don't do it? Like, what are you gonna do if I don't? So it was just like, Huey, you put yourself and Kimiko in a dangerous situation for virtually absolutely nothing at this point. Like this was something they could have avoided. And he broke his little ankle for nothing.
And got sliced. So I was like, I'm probably gonna cut your legs up, Huey. But Kimiko put them in just as a dangerous situation to me as well. Like none of the boys are communicating. Everybody's just off doing their own thing. And when the happening happens, everybody's just like, oh, duck. Like, absolutely not. Ashley?
Yeah, Huey annoyed me so bad. I'm like, really? You have one job. You just need to run to the building, Huey, without hurting yourself. And he couldn't do that. I don't want him to be like the perpetual victim, Huey. I don't want that for you. But no, I was actually most interested probably in Kimiko's history, right? Because I'm like, Kimiko, were you a trafficker? Were you getting these kids? Like, what was going on? And the fact that it didn't seem like she really remembered it until the young lady was reciting what had happened and that I hate you, Kimiko. You were terrible. You offered me ice cream. And next thing I know, I'm fighting in the pit and you did this to my face. I was like, oh, Lord, not Kimiko. Y'all know Kimiko's my favorite. As far as A-Train, it did have me begging certain questions, right? Because I'm like, A-Train, does he really want forgiveness this bad, right? That you're going to be willing to be at the beck and call of Huey indefinitely? Like, when does it stop? And Huey, like, come on. You know, everything that went wrong in my life is because of you, A-Train. I'm like, come on, Mike. Like, that's reach. That's a reach. Okay, he did eviscerate your girlfriend. Okay, he did that. But everything else, I mean, you jumped in, Huey. You jumped in with Butcher. All right,
it's giving teen angst, and I don't like that.
Yeah, because he's a grown man. Huey's 30-some, right? Like he's come on. Come on,
Not even like beck and call. It's one thing for you to come through and you owe me. You want me to go and steal some compound V out of Homelander's apartment? Like, hell no. And the fear that A Train carries for Homelander, I just was like, he really, really wants his forgiveness. Elliot.
Yeah, that was a stretch for me. I know we're going on the A Train redemption road trip for the last couple seasons, but in particularly this season. Yeah, I didn't think that he would be willing to risk his life going into Homelander's home. And the thing about A Train too, he's the fastest man in the world, but they don't use his powers like as he's a Flash, because if the Flash was tasked with that, he's in and out. Like Ashley wouldn't have seen him, no cameras could see him. So they always the powers sometimes are a little bit, not as fluid as I wish they could be. But yeah, that was a hard sell for him to be like, all right, well, yeah, I'm trying to, again, I know narratively they want to say, well, he's on his redemption arc. He's trying to do the right thing, but like doing the right thing is going to get him killed, is what is leading to. But I guess in that scene of him stealing from home, there may or may not be an alliance. And Ashley, I'm trying to figure out like them teaming up, and Ashley, they all have dirt. Ashley, I mean, literally, Ashley, if she wanted to, she could take down Vought herself. She has she's done some bad stuff herself, but she has everyone's dirt. And she has everyone's dirt. So I don't know if A Train now being associated with the boys, A Train can now bring Ashley into them, and they can use her and all the knowledge she has to leak out Vought stuff. So we'll see where that goes. The Kimiko stuff, yeah, it's like, how did you not remember? I would assume the compound V affected her memory for her not to remember what she did and remember her past of trafficking this girl, how many other people she did. So it's weird what the season's doing is making us reflect on these characters again. Frenchie and his past, and like they're not necessarily, again, that's the beauty of the boys, like no one's truly good, but like Frenchie's past, now Kimiko's past, so now it's questioning the audience of like, can we really, are we been ruined? Who's bad guys in this situation? So
everybody's always bad.
Yeah, so it's really, really interesting to see what they do, how Kimiko's Shining Light's going to tie back into the main, because I'm assuming that Shining Light's probably like a subdivision of Vought. They test out compound V, and they have people kidnapped and using their bodies to see if it can work or whatnot, so they can build an army of soups or what have you. So I'm assuming that's how they're going to tie it back into the main plot. But right now it's just, I don't know. And do we even have a name for her? I don't even think the subtitles give her a name, the Kimiko friend. Yeah, so it's like very
I don't know. This is shaky. This is background on Frenchie. I don't need this. I don't need this, and I don't want to know. I feel like this is something we could have maybe gotten away with season 2, season 3, maybe like now we're so invested and we know so much about them. Like this just seems.
Apparently we don't. But
even when we get into Frenchie and his history with the mafia and the whole thing like that, like this, I thought this was so random. Like a floater, we couldn't do nothing else. I would have even settled for actually being there rummaging through Homelander. Like maybe like we're up, like not actually being there to do a flirter situation. I just thought this was poor writing. I did not like this. I didn't like this. Kay, Ashley, did you guys care for this? Did you think this was cool? Are you looking forward to their alliance, or were you like, really? Because I was like, what?
This was the advice her sub gave her last week, right? It'll make her feel better if she does that. And so I think she was just following his advice. But yeah, it was, really, I do not need to see these public hairs one more time. Like, I do not want to see Homelander. I don't. Like, I literally don't. And I don't want to hear about her poos. Like, Hey, but I guess now they each have something on each other, mutual insured destruction. Is that what the phrase is? So, but no, I didn't need it. I could have done without it.
Okay.
I hope an alliance comes out of this. Like, it's got to be something that comes out of this, because if they don't form an alliance out of this, then I don't even know if they're going to make it too long, because how long does somebody sense stay in a room before it's gone? Because if Homelander speed back home, he gonna know they was there. So this could turn out really bad for both of them, and they could turn on one or the other, because we know A Train is good at turning on somebody. They could either easily flip on each other if Homelander's like, so and so was in my house. What were they here for? I know you know.
I don't know. I'm with Elliot. I'm hoping they can tie this back because she wants to actually wants to get away. So if they can bring her into the fold of the boys and make her useful that way, I'll be here for that. But it was just a combination of too many things we don't care. Too many things I did not care about. I really don't care about this. I really, really don't care about this. Like I just made one little quick little slide for their whole scenario. I was really glad that we didn't have to suffer through any more episodes of them coming to and we were getting it in and we're making all this love, and then in the morning Frenchie's like feeling all this guilt and get away from me, but we're not guilty enough not to lay down with the man. But we do have Colin reflect on the fact that he was there and he saw this infamous ankle and it's Frenchie's ankle, and he confesses near the end. Elliot, did you care about this at all?
No, it is unfortunate because I am a fan of Frenchie and I've seen the actor to play Colin and other stuff. Like he's a good actor. They're both good actors. It's the unfortunate event of, again, when you have too many characters and you got to come up with something that really doesn't have enough meat, or at least for me, interest to really invest in my time into really caring. I think hopefully the only thing I can see this redeeming itself is, and I don't even know how this works out for Frenchie, but I can see him maybe somehow his redemption is to get, what Colin's mom was trying to do was to out, his previous boss. So maybe now to make it up for Colin, I'm going to give you as much information I have on my boss out in Russia to get some type of redemption and get her out to the police. That's literally the only other way I can see this to account, other than Colin dying, because yeah, whatever. But I don't know where else this plot goes. This literally feels like a afterthought to the show because it really hasn't gone anywhere. We all knew it was going to come eventually. He killed his dad or his whole family, and it's just like every time I check, there's just no meat to it.
At best, Elliot, Colin's whole backstory is really a great villain arc. If we got him to get some good old Compound V and make him a villain, I could be here for that. They better do something with Colin other than they're doing. But the whole family is giving Batman. I'm here for it. Everybody's murdered.
Or, he can relapse. This is opening up old wounds. So, he can relapse again and, even more dark. He can end up taking his own life. And Frenchie really have that, like, I effed up this person's entire life. And so much so that they took their own life. But as of right now, besides what you just brought up, Colin maybe taking V, which would still be kind of random. It's like, the seventh of the seventh, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think we can all agree though that this is the least interesting plot of the entire season so far.
Absolutely, Ashley.
Accurate. Yeah, I don't care. And you guys have been getting down with the get down for all this time, and you've never seen his ankle or leg. Like I don't.
Right.
It's just, and every time we see him, they're just getting done smashing and walking around naked. So I just, whatever. I really, really don't care. And I'm like, Frenchie, what is this? Are you like a glutton for punishment? Because why even reconnect with this man? Why are you trying to carry on this relationship with him all just to, I don't know. It's just really sick and twisted. I don't even, and I don't really care. Right. On top of all that.
The one that brought up, like, he's the one, you talk about your parents, why he doesn't, they're dead. Like it's one of those things where you write, I think we said it last, they're regressing the character. This is kind of dumb writing. This is this kind of silly, half-ass writing, and it makes no sense. It's making Frenchie as a character look bad. Of all the stuff they give him, it's just like it's really.
I love Frenchie.
Really
I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate this. I feel like this character assassination. And we've already known enough of Frenchie's history to know what he was doing for the mafia and making those hits, and it was a part of his regret and why he got into using drugs in the first place. I'm like, we know this, so why even take us back? He was getting beyond this and growing with the likes of Kamiko, also like regressing. But Kay, be glad when you get back here. If you can get back here, if there is an issue, shoot me a message in the chat so we know. But we would definitely bring Kay back into the fold if and when she can get back on here. But it's not alive unless we have some type of, I don't know. This is the second time with the boys live. Actually, we never had no issues. It's the boys. That's what it is. Every other live is smooth. As soon as we get to the boys, we got some mishaps. Deep Smith signals not so uppity, one of the good ones, taking down Starlight and Sage's agenda. Now, when she said one of the good ones, and Sage cut those eyes, I was like, okay, something's going on here, something's seething. We do have a moment with the Deep, like, so, like, you want to get it in real quick, girl. What's up? What you doing later? Like, if you don't get away from me, you are repulsive. And we're getting back to the Sage with her big brain and not really trying to retread anything she has with the Deep when she is more so dumbed down. But Ashley, I am going to come to you first yet again. How did you feel about Firecracker and Sage's dynamic?
Yeah, you know how I feel about these people so far. And again, my issue isn't with Sister Sage, just how she's been positioned. That's my issue, right? However, I will say in this, I was like, okay, Sister Sage, you're gonna just take that? You're gonna take being the uppity Negro? Are you gonna take that? Are you gonna take being one of the good ones? What are you gonna do? And so I did like how her plan came all together, right? Incite the people, make Starlight mad, and it's like two birds, one stone. You get Firecracker beat to smithereens, and you also get the whatever her name is, Firecracker's constituency up in arms, right? Starlight's bad, Starlight's this. The only issue I'm wondering about with this, right, is with that, Sage is taking a 50-50 chance because there are going to be those people that are going to ride for Starlight all the more because she took ownership of her body. She did what she needed to do. She made a choice. You know what I'm saying? Because we know this is political. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go. But I will say when she said, okay, another pebble down the mountain or another pebble down the hill, I was like, all right, Sister Sage has a bigger plan. And I was happy for that breadcrumb. I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, you better give us something because the uppity part sent me to Elliot.
Yeah, as she said it perfectly. I mean, it's killing two birds with one stone. Obviously, taking down the America's sweetheart with Annie and her whole situation being revealed, and then also getting Firecracker those hands put on her. So I like that she was able to accomplish that. And I mean, I know one of the big topics at hand is obviously the social commentary, and that's her being more of like in reality. I thought it was very relevant to once it was revealed that she was, obviously we're on YouTube. I said she's starts with a P as far as what Firecracker's past relationships were, but people just brushed over that. And as soon as Annie, the whole letting go, deciding to not have the kid, everyone's and I kind of was like, even Colin and her friend was like looking at her like, did y'all not just hear what Firecracker did? And that's worse. I don't know. So I like the commentary there of like picking and choosing people's battles and what people stand for and their morals and what have you. So I thought that was really kind of timely and whatnot. We had a past president recently, some things thrown on him. People just okay, let's just move on. So I do like that commentary there. But yes, it is interesting just to kind of see again Sage's. I still think she has this plan. I know it's going to be revealed hopefully sooner rather than later, but all the looks she's given Firecracker, she walks away from her, and seeing her get beat up, just intrigued. What is this main plan that she has her own? Is it really to take down the 7 Vought and what have you? So I'm really keeping my eye on Sage, what comes of her as we move along. But
yeah, sadly, with getting into this episode, this was the most liberating thing for me because they were putting a lot of stake in the fact that we're going to hit her with this blackmail, and Firecracker's going to sit down somewhere. And she's like, no, I'll send it myself. Like, I'm going to flip the narrative. That surprised me because I was like, oh, okay.
Same,
I set
same.
up. I set up when that happened because Bush is always ready to come through with the bump what else you got? Like this is not going to work on me. We also have Pastor Ezekiel from season 1 coming back in, and this was we do get her history of her being a P word, and that just is completely trumped at the fact that, which is, me getting back into Ashley saying that this could work in Starlight's favor. I keep waiting for her to try to control her own narrative and put that suit on. If she doesn't do this, everybody can spin everything every which way that they want to. So until we do that, Starlight is always going to be in the back crying as she's been doing her, letting her emotions fester. But Ashley, how big of a jump did you do when Firecracker pressed that send button?
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, all right. She's unashamed. And I knew it was going to be some of the whole, like, oh, I'm repentant. I was whatever. But even in her whole repentance, it was gross. And again, conflating the two things was completely wild, but I understand what the show was doing with that. Like, girl, you're a predator and it's disgusting, but they're willing to go right along with it. But Starlight is a unaliver. It just, it sent me. And I could have gone the rest of this whole series without ever seeing Stretch Adams again. Like, just to throw that in.
Yeah, it was given. I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I was like, how is this trumping anything? Kay, how did you feel about Firecracker? The attempt to blackmail her because it didn't work. And welcome back. It's muted, Kay. There you go.
You know, Firecracker she has all the nightmare fuel for Annie and just keeps getting the best of her. Like, y'all have not seen like her mind tricks yet. Like, it doesn't matter what she says because she's built up a following of a bunch of idiots. They're going to agree with her. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, she knows at this point, she's like virtually like until like they don't care. They're gonna have her back at this point, and Annie need to go and find her crew and do the same. Because at this point, there is no playing nice. There is no trying to do it the right way. Annie, you're gonna have to do it Butcher's way. That's just it.
It is. That's all I have been waiting on. But she's, still lying. She's still ashamed of things she did, especially even here when she mentions, her blinding someone at 13 when she was trying to save, a building full of people. It's just, well, it's still, a lot of shame with that, but I'm just waiting for her to take back that narrative and go, yes, I did that. And it's just bigger things at stake than Starlight's.
All of her shame is pushing her for being bullied. Like, you're giving her reasons to bully you because you want to be embarrassed and ashamed about all of these things.
It is, but let me see. Elliot, I'm going to come to you. How did you feel about the aborting missions, as I like to call it? How did you feel about that being put to the forefront with her and Huey deciding that was the right thing to do? And also, like, this is what kind of perked me up with Sage. Like, okay, she does have her own agenda. She does have a master. We're going to have to wait for it to unfold and see what it is. And she's not just there being the uppity Negro. Elliot?
Yeah, the whole obviously it's a very, again, election year, very, a topic that a lot of presidents will be bring up as far as, pro-life and what have you. So I thought that was very timely, but it kind of felt a little out of left field. I can't remember what season it was. I think it was season 2 or 3 where him and Annie were discovering the Red Room. I think it was season 3. And they had the little cameo of Marie on the screen that she used to be a kid there. I think the conversation of them briefly talking about like kids, and it was just alluded at. I think something like that, of that decision and those two characters, which, by the way, not to jump too far ahead, but the chemistry between Sage and Dee, to me, is so much stronger and more interesting than what Annie and Huey have ever had. Like, I don't even think they interact I don't even think they're a couple anymore. I know they are a couple still, but like their romance is like non-existent at all. Like, something like that, like that could have been an interesting story to kind of have with those two. They just kind of glossed over it. Almost felt like I missed an episode or something when they brought that up. I think, if anything, the purpose of that is just to show, like, regardless, I know Ashley brought up, like, maybe this can be the insightful incident that people can now jump on her board. Like, oh, she's not as clean cut. She has a little edge to her. But I think for her as the character, that's something that's now out there and it's going to always eat at her, as far as, like, it was obviously, it's a tough decision that she brought up in this episode. So I think we're going to continue to see her go down a bad path before we see her get back and whatever that looks like for her. I wouldn't be surprised, because I've always wondered, like, going to bring in like a character like Queen Maeve. I think Queen Maeve is going to be the person that's going to probably get her back, because Annie was the one to kind of get her out of her slump, got her out of her darkness, and to break free of the Seven. So I think she's going to kind of in return give that back to her. But yeah, I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better for Annie. And then as far as, again, the Sage thing, again, that's the mystery. It's like, she seems to have we can look at all the decisions she's put forth for, whether it was the very first thing she did with Homelander and that whole killing the 3 men. She has a bunch of dirt on these people that she can just put out whenever she wants. But then to have like a moment where she's hooking up with the Deep, so it's kind of like contradicting as far as like if she's so gun ho on this master plan, but then getting her, cake and eating it too at the same time with the Deep. So I don't know if I like it, but I hope it has a purpose and it's not just there just to be there, just to make insightful things. So I really don't know what the master plan is quite yet because we haven't heard anything about her family. We know that she was kicked out of a home group when she was younger. That's the only backstory we've gotten for her. So the mystery of Sage is definitely intriguing, but I hope it has a purpose.
It has to, Ellie. You can't tell me the smartest person in the world was content in her small apartment with all the books reeking of Taco Bell. I just feel like there's a greater, remember when all of you guys wrote me off and da-da-da-da? This is what I've been trying to accomplish this whole time. It better be that. Ashley?
Yeah, I enjoyed seeing Starlight beat the brakes off Firecracker. I can't lie. I was absolutely here for it. I enjoyed it. It gave me a thrill. And I did like Sage's kind of snide remarks on the side, but I do agree with Elliot because I made the same mental observation while I was watching. I'm like, are Huey and her even do they even like each other? Like, are they
kiss or hug, anything?
Yeah, no, there's nothing romantical about it at all.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting it in. It's like, ugh. And I would hate to see Starlight have to hit rock bottom, but if that's what we need to see her do, for her to put on her big girl panties, I'm all here for it. But let's do it in 2 more episodes. Let's do it by episode. Look, I'm giving them a time frame. As far as Sister Sage, and maybe we'll get to it, but there definitely is an element of self-loathing with her, and I want to know where that comes from. Is it the weight of genius that's making her want to escape who she is? Because I'm like, what's that bad Sage? You know what I mean? Is there some missing element? So my hope is that we do get a full backstory on who Sister Sage is, where she came from, and her motivations.
Okay.
Myself off of mute. About time, Starlight, because like I said the last time, her powers are much better than Firecracker's. Like, why are you letting her bully you around? You could have did this the very first time. And you would have shut all of this down in the beginning. All you had to do was run up on her and go ahead and beat her down real quick, and we could have avoided all of this humiliation. I think that Sage is sometimes when they say when you know better, you have to do better. Yeah. And so by her knowing a lot of stuff, it makes her accountable for doing better. Like you can't make stupid mistakes if you know everything. And that has to be like a burden to I can't slip up because I know better. And there's a sense of when people are blissfully unaware, they can make silly mistakes. And especially by her being a Black woman and already being held to a standard, it's like, I can't slip up, I can't make mistakes. But what does that do to you when you feel like you got to be perfect?
Yeah. I could get into it. I was here for the whoop ass. I was here for that, even though this is fueling the narrative that Starlight isn't who she promotes herself to be online and as a public figure, and the children aren't safe over there. I was here for all of this, but it was really funny. I just wish she, I hope she carries the same energy over into the next episode, but I feel like she's gonna kind of regress. Like, oh my God, I messed up with Bob Singer, and what are we going to do now? It's going to be that instead of just putting that suit on and doing what we know she needs to do. Let me get these super chats. Thank you so much, Dane C, for the $2 super chat. I think Sister Sage can see into the future. Really? You think she on some Raven Simone? I just think she's smart. I think she'd be doing a whole lot more if she could see into the future. Let's see.
Right.
Once again, with the $2 super chat, I'm disgusted. Deep is cheating on his octopus wife.
Now, Sage out here being the side chick to an octopus. Ain't that something?
Look, absolutely, Dave. And let me show you some love for that, and we will be right back. The Deep, get back over there with Ambrosia. She misses you. It's hot in that closet.
Just desire, you cannot waste it. Then if you want it, then I want you to taste it.
Just open the door and you will see there are no secrets. Make your move, set me free. Because there's something about you, baby, that makes me want to give it to you. There's something about you, baby. Just promise me whatever we say, we'll never look in each other. For now, we'll make a vow to just keep it in the closet.
Don't keep her in the closet. Let her out.
You Tyra, you wrong as hell.
Yeah. They have a real, that's the realest relationship. Y'all talking about passion and a lack of whatever between Hugh and Starlight. That's what a passion is. It's been there for years now. That's his true love. She loves her some Kevin. Got her in the closet. What y'all got against
the literal closet?
Literally in a dirty
oh. Right, we get here. Butcher's dormant power, saving Frenchie, and Firecracker's medication. Now they made a point to put the camera on her medication, so I'm assuming that's going to come back into the forefront again. I tried to look that up. It had a couple of meanings, but I saw that it was a just like a dopamine high, and maybe it was for nausea and vomiting. I'm not sure, but I feel like that may come back. We do say Frenchie, but in the midst of that, we have Butcher, Faith the Black, and Ezekiel pretty much explode into absolutely nothing. Kay, how did you feel when all of that happened, and what do you think the dormant power is as far as Butcher is concerned?
The thing is, Butcher likes to keep certain things to himself. So he knows some foolishness that took place in there. But I feel like he gonna hold out on telling everybody else about it when I think he should tell them, because that almost took Frenchie out. Like you need to let the crew know you going through some things and see what they can put together to help you. Because if you don't know how to control this, like who's next?
Oh, did she freeze again? Who do you think is next, Kay?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. She froze.
I froze for a second, but yeah, I was like, who's if Butcher doesn't tell anyone about this ability that he has and he can't control it, that could be dangerous for everybody. Like, what if he's around the wrong people and that little parasite thing just like
pops out?
Has a mind of its own.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you, Elliot? What do you think about dormant power? Oh, here she goes.
She's back.
No, I'm seriously over here tripping out. This has never happened to us before. Like, oh, can we not talk about the
They don't want us to be great.
Oh, she froze again.
Yeah,
Literally.
back to back. But no, to answer your question, Ashley, as I mentioned earlier, I think this is is she back? Tyra back?
No, y'all go ahead, because I don't know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, I think Kay, you're so right as far as like it's just a matter of time before it but I don't even know if he's aware of. I mean, he knows something happened, but he doesn't divulge it. But I don't even know if he's fully aware of what exactly took place. So it's going to be interesting to see if it does snap back at the wrong time and someone does get hurt or killed with this power.
Exactly.
But as far as the medication, I'm glad you brought that up, Tyra, because I kind of brush it over as just her being a drug addict or something. But I mean, it does at least puts us back into what she was good at. He's good with medicine and drugs and stuff. So maybe this is to get him back in the main plot. Maybe he's going to take this and make something up to get her to kill her or something of that nature. So at least they're giving him something to focus on besides Colin and all that stuff. So fingers crossed for there. But yeah, I'm really, really, really interested to see what's inside the Butcher. That is something that is going to help or hurt moving forward, especially if he can't control it. So really, really interesting. I wonder, is that how? Well, no, I was gonna say someone train him, but I was gonna say, is that how we can get Soldier Boy back? Because that's someone I think is severely missed in this season. Is Soldier Boy. So if it can help us get back someone that can help him or train him or something, I would love to see that. Or
Soldier Boy is mentally unstable.
Yeah.
And senile.
We match his
Another
Homelander's energy. We need that.
another way to Gen V is obviously we know what is her Marie is good with reading blood and seeing blood, so maybe she can read into Butcher's blood and see what's inside of him. Maybe that's how they bring them back as far as the Gen V crew.
I hope they bring them back sooner rather than later. I feel like they're gonna wait all the way to the ending to just go like, oh, just have them pop in. Like I was like, oh, I really wanted to have them integrated a little bit with the boys in anticipation for Gen V because with the death of a main character, we don't really know where that's gonna go. So I really wanted to see that, but with the rate that the show's going, I feel like they're gonna save it. Did everybody share their opinion on this on the fly? Ashley, did you share your thoughts on Butcher?
No, but yeah, I echo Elliot and Kay's sentiments as far as Butcher keeping this a secret, right, from everyone. Like, tell somebody, see something, say something. Butcher, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen. But I will say this, as much as Butcher might become a liability with his worms, I honestly feel like Frenchie cannot be trusted. Frenchie needs to be sat out of the game for a while until he figures it out. Maybe, like Elliot said, he can be in the lab doing something like that, but I don't think we need him in the field for a while. He's on like a self-sacrificing mission. He might try to end himself or put himself in a situation to be ended. I'm really kind of concerned for Frenchie. He's having a whole crisis of conscience or something. I don't know. It's weird, but I was glad to see Ezekiel go. I was glad to see him.
Nobody wanted to see Ezekiel. I think they're all like in a state of crisis and kind of falling back and just disjointed, even though the boys are the boys. They've never been this disjointed in keeping secrets from each other and in different stages of life and giving up and regressing. And Kamiko threw a whole therapy situation away this episode. I think we're tearing the boys down to build them back up. I don't want that, but I think that's what we're doing.
MM seems the only one that's good right now. Todd, Todd ain't smashing his ex anymore, so MM's good. He's like, nothing from my past is haunting me. I'm good. So we'll see.
Yeah, I would like to see MM, spend a moment with the kid, just a little bit. I did like that we had that moment of Butcher reflecting, like, you're the best, father, the best anything I know. I'm like, is he though? Like, have we seen him with baby girl show that cussing out mom and saying all kind of stuff? Right. Is he spending time with her? Exactly. Lobotomy, please. Infinite brain growth, release, and regeneration. Temporarily dumbed down companion for Deep. Now, the lobotomy scene for me, it was very interesting. I didn't know where their relationship was headed when she kind of pushed him to the side in the beginning of the episode. But it's like, no, not only do you maybe serve a purpose to me later, I really thought she was just getting closer to the Deep to use him in a broader way and not so much to lobotomize herself. So that was different. And just him kind of jumping on the bandwagon instantly, like, we can have sex and watch that Kim and Ray J video and eat tacos. Okay, cool. Like, you say less.
Yeah, that was
right there. I did love that, but it was interesting to know why she does what she does. I think we were pretty accurate with the last discussion about her brain growth and regeneration, but Ashley, I know you have a special relationship with Sage, so I'm going to come to you first.
So literally, y'all know I can't stand the Deep. Like, I literally have a loathing ever since season 1, episode 1. He is a predator. I do not like the Deep at all whatsoever. So it just grosses me out. I mean, inherently, there's nothing, I guess. It is what it is. But yeah, the frontal lobotomy and her getting turned on and you can do it from behind and we can watch Ray J and Kim K. Really, that's all it took. My God. Last week, I think it was a bloomin' onion, right? And,
Transformers too.
Transformers too. Yes.
Yeah.
Not even the best Transformers. But yeah, it's just gross. And again, it just kind of brings me back to Sister Sage, why do we not want to be ourselves? And could it be Kay's assertion that it is that weight of perfection, the weight of genius? What does that look like for her? And why do you feel this need to escape for 3-4 hours every Friday night? I will make this ask of the boys. I don't want to see her lobotomy. I don't want to see reference to lobotomy every single episode. Like, please, let's not start that trend. It doesn't, I don't want to see the brain scraping. I can do I can do without this part.
Yeah, they give us the whole process. I'm hoping that this is the very last time. Thank you, Trinity Angel 666 for the 4.99 super chat. To Catch a Predator starring fake ass Jubilee, aka Firecracker. Starlight beat that butt. Absolutely. And I ran that scene back again because it was great. Like, do more of that, Starlight. This is what we need. Okay. How did you feel about the lobotomy?
Again, who writes this stuff? Like, y'all show us the whole process. Like, y'all really gonna sit here and take, like, they took a moment to say, we gonna spend this much time in this scene to show you from start to finish. And you know, the deep is so simple. That's why she wanted, when she knows she dumbed herself down, she got to be around somebody dumb too. And they both just sitting over there being simple together, and he's fine with it. I'm already simple, and he likes this, and she already knew he was simple, and she's like, so when I when I'm temporarily out of my damn mind, who gonna be dumb enough to come over here and hang out with me? Oh, look, there's the deep. She know his octopus wife coming on over.
Beavis. Yeah.
Oh, Elliot.
What I missed? I'm sorry. Yeah. Their relationship, hilarious. Kim and Ray J reference, hilarious. Listen, I have an ick with eye things. So like Marty was discussing the whole squirt scene, but this was 10 times worse. Anything going to someone's eye grosses me out. And then and he was banging on it, and it was
rotting.
It
felt like it was in there forever.
That was gross. But again, going back just to the root of it, is this genuinely something she's interested in? Is it like Ashley and Kay and Tyra mentioned? Is it just part of her grander plan? Because like I said last week, he's a joke, he's a douche, he's an idiot, but he is he rules the 7 kingdoms. Like, he has one of the most power. Again, this goes back to what I said, A-Train not being really used to his full potential like the Flash. If he is the Aquaman of this story and the parody of Aquaman, he has a lot of powers. If it is to be, talking to fishes and control water, but I don't know if she's genuinely into him, or again, if she's using him, but only time will tell. But I like I said earlier, I get a kick out of them. They have better chemistry than Huey and has ever had in this entire show. In 2 scenes.
I'm just waiting on the reeprecautions of Ambrosius the octopus. Like, Kevin, where have you been? You've been ignoring
all that damn algae. Can breathe good.
Algae breeding all over his clothes and everything because she's been neglected for so long. I'm interested in that. And I just feel like at this point, Sage's like, you know what? If I'm going to be dumbing myself down, I still need somebody in the room who's dumber than me. Come on in.
Exactly.
I don't want anybody having too much.
I think even in this moment, she is being smart because she's already empowered him a little bit, right? She got him to stand up to Ashley, talking to him crazy. I think that was the first step. Then screwing him, that's even further ingratiating herself to him. When it's all said and done, she might be able to command him and control him with very little issues. So we'll see. But I'm hoping she will use him for a grander scheme by the end of it.
Right. She might tell him to part the Red Sea and throw it on New York. Right. We don't know.
That's what I'm saying. If
a little bit of anything. It could.
I look at them as, how people have smoke friends, but how people have they said like I'm only smoke with these set of friends. They not like they my real friends, but if I want to smoke or I'm gonna go over here with these people, I think that's what she uses him for. Like when I want to be like out my mind, I know he's good for it. He's good. He's there for a good time for her.
What I'm reading this chat and so much she would have been better off hooking up with Homelander. Child, she's the child. I'm glad we didn't. I don't want to see that more than I don't want to see her in the deep. Absolutely not. No, I don't want to see that.
I have a question though, real quick, Tyra, before you go to the next slide though, seriously, what do you think is going to come out about her connection to A-Train? Because there's palpable tension every time they're in a room together, every time. And we know he said she had a big mouth. He did not want her to be a part of the 7. But what do you think is going to come out about their relationship? That's my question to the panel.
I don't know. For me, I just felt like that's something that was hearsay and they weren't going to revisit. And she was just keeping her eye on A-Train because she can sense that he's maybe up to something. She knows everything. I've just been questioning whether she knows that A-Train is already hanging out with the boys or not. That's where I was. But as far as going over their past history, I just thought there was some groundwork as to why he didn't want her to be a part of the 7. I don't know. Okay.
I think that might be a card he's holding in his back pocket because, especially if she has a grand scheme and she's working with Homelander, it's like, hey, to get her kudos, A Train's working with the boys. I know you working with them, and he could always say, "You snitch on me, I got something on you that will take you down too." So I really think he's kind of just holding that to see if she gonna try to blackmail me because I got something for her too.
That would be interesting. Elliot?
Yeah, because normally I'm just thinking of like other stories, movies when two characters know each other's past. Normally, like when they mention that, you would have seen the next scene. Adrian would be like, "What you doing here? What, blah, 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 blah." But they haven't even spoken since that interaction. So it seems like it's a throwaway line, and just two black people know each other from the past and just connecting the dots in that way. But I mean, it would seem very kind of silly for them just to put that there and not have anything into. Maybe he knows because we haven't heard anything else about her past besides them in that group together. Maybe he knows about her mom, dad, brother, sister, and he can go to them and get some dirt from them and use it to take down Sage or to find out the greater plan. Or I can't remember if it was last week or I saw it somewhere, but someone had alluded to Stan Eggers. He's not dead; he's still out there, and I don't want to spoil anything. But did you guys see the trailer for? Was it this week they put out the trailer for the boys?
Mm-hmm.
Did he say? It stands in the trailer, so he's still out there. So I don't know if Stan and Sage have a past, and he kind of used her as he did like with Vic. So we'll see. I think that there could be something there between A Train and Sage, and him having some dirt on her, or at least getting dirt on her.
He gonna need something because I'm
Yeah.
sure she knows what's going on. She clearly knows a whole lot of everything.
Yeah.
But we're even now. And yeah, I wanted him to push you on the ground. He was like, "Well, no, I changed my mind. I was going to tell you to f off, but no, I changed my mind. We're this man. Like, who are you, Huey? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Who are you, Huey?"
I would have taken that.
We have Butcher lurking in the shadows, and he mentions that he stole some compound V from Frenchie and took it again, and it didn't help the situation. This is the wrong route to go if you are trying to save your father. And we have Huey's dilemma: is he or isn't he going to give it to his dad? And eventually, at the end, we do have it, go into that IV, and we're left to wonder how to get there, who put it there. The mom is the only one that was in the room. But Kay, coming to you first, how did you feel about the ending with Huey's dad and the fact that Butcher took Compound V again?
I was trying to figure out while I was watching did they throw that in there in the end to keep Butcher alive, or did they always plan for Butcher to had taken the Compound V? I was trying to figure out what that story was and how they wanted that to play out, because that was like kind of random that he was just like, "Oh yeah, I had already actually took the real thing." Like, what? When did that happen? I like Elliot's kind of prediction on what's going to happen with Huey's dad, and like him coming back and being some kind of creature type person. I actually really I really hope that's what happens, because I blame Huey because Butcher warned him. So you at this point you get what you get.
Right.
Elliot?
Yeah, no, I think and again, the show is very on the nose, and they're very self-aware of like certain cast members and certain, zeitgeist pop culture things. So I definitely think that his dad coming back as a zombie would be kind of a funny nod to Shaun of the Dead. And again, like Kay just said, as far as like making up for mistakes, like bringing back your dad from the dead, even though it wasn't his decision, still that domino effect that you get, and even if your mom want to do it, she would have never had that opportunity if you would have never brought it there in the first place. So I think it's going to definitely have ramifications. But yeah, the Butcher again, I think it's going to be revealed that him taking a second dose just affected the tumor, and it made into whatever this parasite / new power that he has now. Because it doesn't seem to have sped up the process. If anything, it just seems that he's having these hallucinations, and I think his body is just trying to get used to whatever he has in the system now. But yeah, I definitely can see next week us seeing the ramifications of Huey's dad being this all-powerful, half dead, half human soup that they're going to have to probably, which is going to be, I wish we would have had more time with his dad. I don't even remember the last time he and his dad actually spoke. And like, I don't remember.
A long time.
Yeah, like why we beefing at this book was so random. And when like Simon Pegg was like, they had to just get him for a couple because he was shooting something else. But yeah, I can see them having to kill his dad next week. But is that going to really do anything for us? Like, would you guys be sad if Huey has to put down his own dad?
We haven't been invested enough. Like you said, we haven't seen Simon enough, but he's a great actor. I wish they utilized him a little bit more, even if it was just like, Huey, I haven't seen you. How's it going? You're, neglecting our something. We just haven't seen him. I can't recall. I think season 2 last time.
Was that the last time they spoke? Yeah.
I just don't.
When he and Starlight were like a couple officially, I remember that was like the last time because the dad was trying to get Starlight to meet his friends, right? That's the last time I think I actively remember. Were you going to say something, Elliot? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No.
Okay. But no, this part, Butcher lurking in the shadows. He's always in the shadows. Huey, I forgive you now. And I was like, okay, like, it's just so, you know what I mean? It was just so anticlimactic for me. Like, it didn't give me feels, or I didn't feel like, oh, there's a bond and now they're going to have this friendship. You're forgiven, A-Train. Go off and be great. I didn't get any of those vibes. And Butcher is looking at Huey like, are you stupid? Are you dumb? I took this from Frenchie. I took this from Frenchie already. It sped up D-Day. And I'm like, did it though? Because I am in the club with Kay and Elliot, and I believe that this created the cure. Now I know there's a green V and there's a blue one. One was under testing and production, right? Because they were trying to create an army of soups. And I think the original one is the blue one. So I think he got a dose of each maybe. And so we'll see what that does, because it could be a cure-all. As far as Huey's dad, if he's got to put him down, he's got to put him down. But I hope we get some action with him in these next 4 episodes. I hope he's a menace.
I hope
he goes out of the bang.
I don't want to see Huey being the victim anymore. I want to see. I was even hoping in this episode, I was like, maybe Huey will take the compound V. Like, I don't something. Like, I don't want to see Huey the victim right now. I've had enough of that. The weakling. Because Huey used to be a really strong character, but just I'm not here for this. But it'll be nice. But getting into, I guess, predictions for episode 5. I'll just say I do, and I think I spoke that into existence, Ashley, because in the chat I was like, I don't want to see no Ryan, and they gave us no Ryan.
They heard you. They took note. They edited him out.
I mean, it's just less if he's not going to be, useful to the plot or making any progress as a character, not just rip him out. But I do want to see what Ryan is doing. I want to see his relationship as far as Butcher and Homelander is concerned. I want more of that. And just because he is a main plot point, but I'm just not feeling that from his character. There's just no weight with him. As far as, I guess, Butcher, I do want to see, that power pop out again and see how far they push it, because we did black out. I want to visually see what that is. And then just the aftermath of this Homelander and just pushing it beyond, I guess, what he's willing to do. How would he feel about Starlight's retaliation in the public eye? Is he going to, kind of want to have some vendetta? Like, I don't know. I want to see how that goes. Is he not going to feel like Firecracker is serving her purpose? Or is just really, how long is he going to continue to serve as Sage's idea of this is my master plan? Just go with it. Is he going to have any type of pushback at all? Or just, I don't know. But above all else, I hope episode 5 is better than episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ashley.
Yeah, again, I'm just wanting to dig deeper with the characters that we know and love, and even the newer characters, right? Like, I hope we get a more fleshed out Sister Sage. Maybe we get some behind the scenes of what her plan is. I didn't think it was possible for Homelander to become any more unhinged, but I think this unlocked or unleashed a different part of him. And so I'm kind of interested to see what he's going to do to the public, right? And what he's going to do on his platform. Is Firecracker going to get him in the bed? You know what I'm saying? Is she alive? Did she make it after that beating? I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen with that. And yeah, the Butcher. I hope he tells the team. I hope this is a more transparent Butcher who doesn't keep secrets from the team, and that we get that core group back to some kind of unity again, because they're very disjointed right now. My hopes for episode 5.
Elliot?
Next week, yeah, I definitely think they've been doing this thing where whatever the last scene is does get addressed in next episode. So we saw the little lobotomy thing in episode 3, so we finally got the answer for Sage in 4. So I'm assuming the last moments of, Homelander, we're going to see the ramifications of whatever that new version of himself, like the first scene is him showing someone steps on his shoe or looks at him wrong and he just kills him without even hesitation or something. So I think we will explore at least a version of what this new Homelander is going to look like. I do, like you mentioned, Tyler, where's Ryan? I think, we might catch up to him, see where he's at now after his little fight with his dad, a verbal fight. I know someone commented, it was Black Boy. I would love to catch up with him, see what he's. I think it was Ashley that mentioned seeing more of him. So I want to get more of that. I also think of the big I don't say MacGuffin, but I think the big mission of next week will be Huey's dad. If we are to believe that his dad is now some type of different version of himself, of Soup with a half brain dead Soup, I think we're going to see what that looks like next week. And I'm trying to like eventful because I think we all agree that they haven't had the election yet. But I think the closer and closer we get, there's going to be something, because Vic is a very interesting character. And I'm so mad, again, Frenchie, Colin, give me more of Vic. Like the whole idea of her being a closeted Soup and playing the politics of the good and the bad. I want to see more of her. So hopefully we get more of her. In episode 5, I also think this is a wild card. I said I was hoping that was this episode. I do think the JD references have to go somewhere. And again, the trailer revealed that Kate and Sam will make an appearance, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is next week. If we're assuming again, Homelander, Unedge, let's get those kids that did the Godolphin massacre. I want them on my side because they're willing to do wild things, and we know Sam is unhinged himself, and Kate has the abilities to wipe people's mind and do whatever they want. So I think we're going to see his plan of take over the world with Sam and Kate being involved in next episode.
Okay.
You're muted.
I have a list. I want to see Butcher's Parasite. I want to see that leveling up. Let's see how that evolves in Butcher. What, not only the parasite evolving, but maybe what does that do to Butcher as it evolves? I would like for Annie to come on to the dark side and actually accept it. Okay, let's embrace coming over to the dark side, because this is the only way that we're going to make it through this. Be okay with that. I would like for the Deep to go in there and clean Ambrose's tank. Because I am somehow I don't know what it is that is bothering me. I need for that to take place. And I really feel like Homelander thinks that he's hot stuff now. And what does that gonna mean? Like, he's literally sitting at the top of the world, because at this point he's like, who gonna check me? Who can do something to me? So what does that mean, that he think he's hot stuff? Nobody can touch him. He's untouchable. He can pretty much do anything he want. What does that mean?
We shall see. We don't know. Like I feel like we've been waiting so long for the unhinged, even more so than he already is, Homelander. Like, just hurry up and just give it to us. Like that would like really like pick up the show for me and make my day. And the whole who gonna check me boo aspect was always Ryan was supposed to be that wild card. If it's not Soldier Boy, then it's Ryan. Like, but neither one of them are anywhere to be found in the narrative. So it's just like, let's just, have Homelander run amok for a little bit, and then it's just like, da 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 da. Like, yeah, you thought we're here to take on everything you'd like something, but at this point, I have absolutely no investment in Ryan, and I would really, really like some. I would. But y'all, those are the predictions for episode 5. Let me go ahead and take this off. That was good. We covered absolutely everything. Let me run it up. Thank you guys for being here. We got up to almost, I believe, 60 people in here, which is awesome. Keep on running it up. Keep engaging. We would love to get more of you guys in here for these recaps. Let me thank you guys for being here, chilling with us, and then we are going to come back and let you know where you guys can find us. We'll be right back.
Word on the street, I'm a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Taylor on a barrel, keep quiet. Catch a slipping from behind. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. Like an outbreak. Chopper start to make the house shake. We done the pound case. Eyes on your chin, better watch what your mouth say. Lean with the footballs, nigga tripping. Keep sipping. AK with the beam on it. Clip so long I can lean on it.
Yes, OG Homelander. Love it, love it, love it. Ashley, I'm going to come to you first to let the people know where they need to go to hear you and your sweet perspective. Go ahead, Ashley.
Just coming over my sweet perspective on all platforms. Come over and see about me on TikTok. It's really super fun over there. But if you're here, just subscribe, hit the notification bell. I just dropped a video with a ton of new Black shows coming out in 2024 that you may or may not know about. So please go check out that video. I'm reviewing House of the Dragon with lives every Monday night. So if that's your vibe, come do that. Tomorrow on Saturday, I'm doing Ghost and the Shy lives. So head on over for that. There's something for everyone. I will also be dropping my Presumed Innocent review episodes 1 through 3. So yeah, something for everybody. And as always, Tyra, thank you for having me on, and thank y'all for vibing with us tonight.
Of course, Ashley. This is what Ashley's channel looks like. She is popping over there on TikTok. I think you almost at 50K on TikTok, right? You muted, Ashley.
Just 41, not 50 yet. We just hit 40. So that was
we over there. But we are really close to 3,000 here over on YouTube. So support her on all of those platforms and, all those good things. And be on the lookout for them Interview with the Vampire reviews too, because those are going up and performing for Ashley really, really well. So support her there too. Yes. Elliot, I'm going to come to you next to let the people know what's going on over there on the Movie Files. Go ahead, Elliot.
Yeah. Thank you again, Tyra, for having me on. Good to see you, Kay and Ashley and everyone in chat. House of the Dragon. We're back. We're back in Westeros. So every Sunday I do live watch parties and an after show following that. Covering the boys, of course. I'm on Ashley's train with the Presumed Innocent. No one's watching it. Ashley, I don't know what's going on. Jake Gyllenhaal crime drama. But anyway, covering that every week. And then next week, I think I'm going to be seeing The Quiet Place on Monday, so keep an eye out for that review. And I'm trying to get into my FX Connects to get the Bear because that's coming out next week. But yeah, so some cool things to look forward to. But as far as coming soon, Sunday, watch party, after show, House of the Dragon, Team Black all day.
Period.
Absolutely. Y'all know I'm good for rounding up. Elliot is this close in a little bit more to 100K. Go get Elliot to 100K. We gonna round all the way up. But yes, Elliot is sitting really close to that 65K. Go and support him and everything that he does. Elliot drops really, really good stuff. And they are making me want to get into this Presumed Innocent show just because Jake Gyllenhaal is over there and I like him. So I'm gonna go see about that. But Kay, I am going to come to you next to let the people know what's going on over there on the Horror and Hooch podcast, as well as the Fifth Wall. Go ahead, Kay.
Come on, horror people. Come on, nerd people. Recent stuff we have going on. Of course, Interview with the Vampire, House of Dragon, Evil, X-Men 97, of course, The Boys. And if you like old school throwback movies and you need something to watch, check out the shorts. We have like a whole list of throwback horror movies, underrated horror movies. So if you need something to watch within the horror realm or the superhero comic book realm, go ahead and check that page out and get you something to watch. I got all the recommendations, suggestions, all that good stuff.
Yes, y'all. This is what Kay's channel looks like. Once again, we are trying to get Kay to that 1K mark. If y'all don't know how hard it is to get your first 1K on YouTube, you have not lived. Help her out to,
It's hard out here for a horror person. Come on.
even harder, for a horror person. So you guys be sure to go over there and support Kay and everything that she does. As far as I'm concerned, Sunday, be on the lookout for my review for Book of Eli. That Thursday, be on the lookout for Strictly Business. And that following Sunday, be on the lookout for Ray. And what's going on in current news, we are throwing it back real heavy for the interview with the Vampire Lives. Like, if you are not there for our interview with the Vampire Recaps, you are absolutely missing out. We also have another edition with Watch With Me LB on that. And it is the funniest thing you would ever want to see. And I really want y'all to be a part of that, especially for our finale episode recap and us cosplaying as them, vampire characters. Don't miss it. It's going to be funny. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. And I am here for it. But you guys, anything else before we get on up out of here and say goodnight to the people?
Oh, no. Thank you, Tyron. We're going to be back next Friday.
I hope it's good, but we will all be, everybody here is, of course, welcome to join in for the next recap. And we will see you guys next time. Good night, y'all.